Mike. Let's draw with Mr. Mike. D-R-A-W with M-R-M-I-K-E.
It's a helicopter! Today's lesson is a helicopter. We are going to draw this very helicopter, not with all the labels of course, but we are going to learn how to draw this today. We are going to use some basic lines and shapes to create that. So, everybody, get out your favorite art materials. I'm Mr. Mike, and I'm going to show you how all of this fits together. Okay, today I'm going to use a marker. What are you going to draw with? There are so many options with art materials. You could use a marker, or you could use an oil pastel, or there's all sorts of crayons you could use. There's colored pencils. I have a bunch of colored pencils here. Look at this. This one's upside down. Colored pencils. There's good old trusty pencil. This one, I use this regular pencil quite a bit. And there's all different types of things. There's paint sticks. I've got paint sticks here. We've got gel crayons. Whatever you're comfortable with drawing, please use that as your art material. But I would strongly recommend that all of my friends try some new art materials every now and then. You may find something that you like more than the art material that you draw with all the time. Okay, so let's get to drawing. Like I said, we are going to take these basic lines and shapes and create a helicopter. And I'm going to show you how all of this fits together. We've got a triangle, a circle, an arc, a line, and an oval. And we are going to see how that will create a helicopter. Okay? So, get out your paper, get your art material. I'm going to put out my reference drawing, and we are going to put this all together right now. Now, I'm going to use a marker so it's nice and easy for you to follow along and see what I'm creating. So I'd say right about here, we are going to create an oval on the paper, maybe a little smaller, so we can make sure, because if you look at this original drawing I did, it's pretty big. We got to make sure that this helicopter fits on the page. Okay, so let's draw an oval right about here. Okay, now the oval is the base of the helicopter. That's the biggest shape of the helicopter. Okay, that's where the cockpit is. The cockpit is over here. We'll just draw we're going to add an arc here. And this is going to be where the cockpit is. Okay, so we have our oval and an arc. And then the engine is back here. That's where all the fuel goes and the motor and everything in there that makes everything run on the helicopter. And then in the back, now we're going to add in the tail boom. And the tail boom, it goes very long. We're going to use 2 lines to create that. It's going to go here. And then we'll add another line that's going to go kind of in toward that, but it's not going to touch it. Okay, so we'll have it go up and over, and we're going to stop right about there. Okay, so this is the tail boom. Now below, we're going to make the landing skids, and we need some lines to create that. We will create 4 lines that will come down from this body area of the helicopter. So 1, 2, and then we'll do 3, 4, and now we'll do 2 long lines that go across. Ready? 1, and then 2. Just like that. And then we'll take an arc, and we're going to round off this with an arc on this side, connect those 2 lines, and then in the front, we're going to do 2 short angled lines up like this. And then we're going to connect that again with an arc. So we'll round that off with an arc. And that's a good landing skid there. So there's 2 of those. We only see 1 of them because we're looking at it from the side, but there's 2 of those, and they go below the helicopter there. Okay, so let's finish off the body here, and we're going to create a door. And the door is going to use 2 lines, 1 two like that. And then we're going to connect those lines with an arc. Arc will go like this. And then we can put a window in there. So we'll add an oval, and it'll go right here, just like that. So now this is looking pretty good. This looks like a nice helicopter, but what do we need? We need to finish off the tail boom. Okay, so we're going to do the tail rotor. So let's put, this is kind of, trust me here, it's all going to make sense in a second. We're going to put a circle right here, just out, just a little bit away from these two lines, okay? And what we need to do is we need to create, this is the tail rotor, so we need to include the blades. So we're going to make two triangles. Let's do up, over, and across like that. And then we'll do over, down, and back up to that one. So that's the blades for the tail rotor. And then we are going to make the tail part, the top fin and the bottom fin here. So it's going to be a line up and then over and then down, like that. And then we'll do the same thing, except it's a little smaller on the bottom. So we'll go down, over, and then up. And then we can just join these lines. We can extend these lines. So just extend this line so it matches up. And you can go over that again if you want, or you don't have to. And then the same thing here. I'm just going to extend this in and then connect this with an upward angle little line there. Oh, look at that. So that's what it should look like. So we have our tail rotor. This is the tail boom. This is where the engine would go. These are the landing skids. This is the cockpit. This is where the pilot sits. And then this is the door. Now on top of the helicopter, we need to make the rotor mast. Okay, so we're going to make we're going to use lines to create this. We'll go up, over, and then down. 3 lines. And then we're going to top it off with an arc. So the arc will go around like this and just round that off. And then we're going to create the blades, the main rotor blade. So we need, this is fairly long. We're going to do 4 long lines. We'll do 2 on this side, and then we'll do 2 on this side. So let's start right about here where this line is, and we're going to go out like this and have it go up a little bit, but don't come across here. Make sure you stop before you get to the tail rotor, okay? Because we don't want the main rotor blade to hit the tail rotor. Then our helicopter wouldn't work. So then we'll do another line below that and have it go out and stop in the same spot, just like that. And then we can use a short line to join them. Then we'll do 2 more long lines on this side. So let's do that long line, and you want to make it about the same length. Okay? You want to be even as best that you can. And then we'll do another long line below that and stop. And then we'll join that with a short line. And look at that. We've got a helicopter. Now you'll say, Mr. Mike, this helicopter is really cool, but it's all the way up here. What about down here? All this paper is open. Well, we can make a little city that our helicopter is flying over. You can make it anything you want. You can make it a town. You can make it your town. You can put houses down here. I'm going to make mine a city. And you can follow along with me, or you can use your imagination and put basic lines and shapes to fill this area of whatever you want to be down here. Maybe it's a farm. Maybe it's a city. Maybe it's a small town. Or maybe it's a town built of ice cream cones. It's your imagination. It's your world. You draw what you want below here. I'm going to use some lines to create a city, and it's very simple for us to do. We just need 3 lines per building for the main buildings. Anyway, we'll go up, over, and then down. And look at that, we've got a building. Now remember, we're just seeing the tops of the buildings. we don't have to see the bottoms. So go up, we'll make this one a different height, over, and then down. And maybe I'm going to stop right here for this one because I'm going to join it to another building and I'll have it go over and down. And then maybe over here, this one goes up and comes to a point. So I'll go over, then down on an angle, and then come down straight. And then over here we'll make another building. We'll make it this high. We'll go down, we'll do over, and then down again. So that one just uses 3 lines, like this building. Okay, and then we'll just add one more here. We'll do a line down, we'll do one over, and then maybe this one has an arc, and it goes off the paper. Alright, so we have some buildings, and if you want, you can make little squares for windows, and you don't have to make all of them, you just have to make a few of them around the building, and it'll make it look as if there are a bunch of windows. And this could be people in their apartments, or maybe they're in their office, or maybe it's a different, I don't know, whatever type of building this is, we can put little squares in here to make it look as if these lights are on in these buildings. Just build a bunch of squares in, just like this. And just put them all around. And now, let's add in some clouds. So, to make a cloud, all we need is an arc. So we draw an arc like this, and then we vary the size of the arc all the way around. So we'll make a medium size, a small, a big arc, a tiny arc, a medium size, whatever size you want. You just have to change the sizes as you go all the way around and then join it back to the beginning. And there's a cloud. Let's make another one over here. Just vary the size of the arc as you go around, and then you can join at the beginning. And then let's put a sun. Up here we'll use a circle, and then we'll use lines, and all the lines will point toward the center of the circle, but they won't touch the circle. Well, they could touch the circle if you want. Let's try a sun that way. Usually when I draw them, I don't have them touch the circle, but you can do that. So let's have them all point toward the middle and touch the circle. Look at that. That works great. Just have it all point as if you're pointing toward the center of the circle. There you go. And let's maybe add one more cloud up here with arcs all the way around. Look at that scene that we just made. We learned how to draw a helicopter. And we drew a city below it, or whatever your environment looks like. It could be a city or a farm or anything. It could be a town. Or what did I say? I said ice cream cone village or ice cream cone alien planet. Let's color this in. So, what color is your helicopter going to be? You can choose any color you want. I think I'm going to make a purple helicopter, and I'm going to use these gel crayons to color in my helicopter. Actually, you know what? Because I'm going to do a blue sky, maybe I'll make it a different color altogether, because the purple is very close to the blue, and I want this helicopter to really stand out. So what if I use, red. Why don't I make a red helicopter? There we go. So many choices with colors. So I'm going to color in the main part of the helicopter, the body, but I'm going to leave the door, I'm going to make the door a different color. So I'm going to use the red, color in the body. I'm also going to use this for the tail boom, right? I almost called it the tail rotor. That's up here. Okay, so there we go. I used the red for the tail boom and for the body there. And now I'm going to use yellow for the landing skids and for the door. So let's see. Landing skids. Okay, and the door will be yellow. And then I can even make that rotor up here, this part, yellow, and we'll leave the blades white, or I will. You can do whatever you want. I'm going to make this yellow as well, that circle there for the rotor, the tail rotor. And the blades I'm going to leave them white, but you can make them whatever color you want. Next, I'm going to color in that sky with this blue, and this is a good sky blue that I like to use all the time. So this looks like it's dark, but it really isn't as dark as it looks. So if we use a piece of paper, I can show you. Look how much lighter that is than the case that it's in. So always test your colors and make sure that it's the color you want. So I'm going to use this to fill in around the buildings and the helicopter. Okay. We're making a really nice scene here. This is a lot of fun. Now, where are some other places that you might see a helicopter at? Maybe it could be over the ocean, or maybe it could be flying over the mountains, or maybe it's at an air show with a whole bunch of people watching, or maybe it's a weather helicopter and it's a news helicopter giving the weather report. Maybe it's a traffic helicopter and it's above a roadway and it's giving a report on the traffic. Who knows? There's all sorts of different ways that you can draw your helicopter in places that you can put it, and that's up to you, and use your imagination. And then you can make cool sound effects as you're drawing, and you can do this. You can go, this is Mr. Mike. I'm flying in the helicopter way above the city, and I'm looking down and I see a giant bagel going down 6th Avenue doing something. I don't know. So I'm going to finish coloring in the sky now. Let's see. Let's finish this up. There's a lot of sky to color. What else could we talk about? Color blue. This is a nice color, blue. I know that. And I forgot the color. I already had the yellow out. I should have colored the sun then, but I'll save it. I'll wait until I come back to that. At the end, I'll do the sun last. And we'll do the buildings next. Maybe we'll pick a cool, interesting color. Maybe those can be purple. Maybe the buildings can be purple. That'll be fun. So let's color that in. And then over here. And I think this will be interesting when I get to the cockpit. I'm going to try something out. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I'm going to try something out. I'm going to show you a quick way that we can test our drawings without having to put color on the drawing. So I'll explain what I mean in a second. But it's going to be neat, and it might make you think different about your drawings as you're creating them and you're coloring stuff in. So if you want to test something out before you actually put color on, because I know a lot of my friends are very particular about drawings and how they put color on their drawing, because they want to take their time and they want to make sure they do things the right way. So if you wanted to, maybe this helicopter is reflecting the blue of the sky onto it because it's glass. This cockpit, this area is like a window, and it's glass. So maybe we see the sky through it, right? Or maybe there's reflection of the sky on it too. So maybe we want to try and make it blue, but we don't know if we want it to be blue or not yet. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece of paper, and I'm just going to tear off a size that's about this size, okay? And I'm just going to quickly tear this shape, okay? See how this fits in here? And I'm just going to test this out. I'm going to color this torn piece right here. I'm just going to color it in, and I'm going to see what that might look like in this spot. What does that look like? I kind of like the way that looks because it lets us know that we can see through the glass and we can see the sky on the other side. But I wasn't sure if I'd want to do that or not. So I tested it out real quick just to see what it would look like. You see that? So I am going to color that in because I know what it's going to look like now, or I have an idea of what it's going to look like. It's not going to look exactly like that, but I have an idea. So I'm going to color that in. But I decided I'm not going to color in the whole thing because I know that there's some controls down here on the bottom. So that we would not see through that. So I'm going to leave that white. So now the helicopter is completely covered. We have the sky done. I'm going to add in the purple on the buildings. So watch this. Let's use the purple. This is going to look really cool. Well, purple is a cool color. It's warmer than blue, but it is a cool color. Okay. Did you know that there's warm colors and cool colors? Did you know that red is a warm color? So is yellow. But even within those colors, there are cool reds and warm reds. And there are cool yellows and warm yellows. It's really interesting. Color is very interesting. We can do so much with color. There's a lot of information about color out there. As you keep drawing and you keep exploring with all of your art and coloring in your pictures, you're going to learn more and more about color as you go, and about drawing. Okay, so this actually, I will say, looks like a warm purple, even though purple is a cool color. Because it looks like there's a little bit more, it goes more toward the reds and the pinks. It's more magenta kind of color rather than a bluish purple or dark, deep purple. There we go. So I have my city colored in, and now I'm just going to color in my sun. Where did that? Oh, there's the yellow. And then we'll color in the sun, and we're done. Isn't that fine? Sun and done. This is our helicopter. What does your helicopter look like? What color did you make your helicopter? And what is your helicopter flying over? Where did you put it? I'm so curious. If you would like to share your artwork with me, please visit drawwithmrmike.com and have your parents or caregivers send me a picture of it. There's an email address on that page. It's contact@drawwithmrmike.com. You can take a picture of your artwork and send it to me. I would love to see it. Maybe I'll share it behind me here on the set, or maybe we'll put it on my Instagram page. I can't wait to see your art. Thank you so much for joining me today, and thank you for drawing a helicopter. I'll see you next time, everyone. Bye.
Let's draw with Mr. Mike.